When I tell people that I travel solo, a lot of people ask me how I do it and how they can do it themselves. So this video is going to help you plan your first solo trip. If you like this video, please subscribe for more travel videos from around the world and more advice about solo travel. A little bit about my background in travel. I got really comfortable traveling by myself around the US, and also when I studied abroad in Italy, I was able to go all around Europe, and I really got comfortable being by myself, eating out by myself, and I realized it was actually really enjoyable. Big US cities are very similar to a lot of cities around the world, so getting comfortable traveling around the US helped me be able to travel anywhere. And now I've been to 21 different countries, mostly solo. So the first thing is to pick your destination. So an idea would be to pick an easier trip first, which would be maybe somewhere you've already been before or somewhere in your home country, or you could just go ahead and go for it and plan whatever dream trip it is that you've always been dreaming about. A concern for many solo travelers, especially females, is safety. I go to the US government website. I search for a country and then I read what it has to say. I would probably choose a level 1 destination for my first trip. I usually stick to destinations with level 1s and 2s. It's not that these ratings are perfect, but the government does look at actual cases and statistics to make these warnings. Here you can also sign up for step safety notifications while you're in the country. Don't get too obsessed with this site, because if you start reading all these articles and if you Google your city name and crime, things are going to come up and you're going to start to get nervous. So do your research, but don't go overboard. Next is finding your flights, and I usually search on Skyscanner, and I search everywhere and cheapest month. Now you have to decide about what kind of accommodation you want. Do you want a hotel, Airbnb, or a hostel? I usually go with hostels because I really like the social atmosphere and I like meeting new friends from around the world. But it's definitely not for everyone because it's a very communal atmosphere. You're sharing bathrooms, you're sharing dorm rooms with people you've never met before. So I use Hostel World and I search for my destination and dates. Then I pick one that has a lot of good reviews. And I go down here and I look at the number of reviews and see the dates of those reviews to make sure that people are actually staying here and that the last review wasn't from a year ago. I only book 1 to 2 nights because I want to see if I like it, if I like the atmosphere, if I like the city, maybe I want to hop to another city. So I only do 1 to 2 nights so that I don't get charged for cancellation fees if I decide to change my mind. There's a happy medium between researching too much and researching too little, and I think you have to find the balance for yourself and your own personality. I've had trips where I've completely winged it and it's been awesome, and then I've had trips where I didn't plan anything and things kind of got a little too hectic. So I think it's good to have a little bit of a balance and do a little research and see what the top places you want to hit are. Also, when you're researching, you can decide if you're interested in just going to that one place or if you're interested in going to multiple places. Some other things that I do before a trip is I back up everything on my iPhone, especially all the photos, just in case something happens while I'm on my trip. Another thing that I do is I figure out my phone situation. So what I usually do now is I will just put my phone on airplane mode so that I don't get charged for international calls and texts. And then when I have Wi-Fi, I'm able to use an app like WhatsApp to send free texts and calls. But what I would recommend you doing for your first trip is getting a day pass for your phone. And you'll talk to your phone provider about this, but usually it's about $10 a day. And you'll have all your access to your data, so you'll be able to go on Uber and you'll be able to go on Maps, which are things that will make your first trip definitely easier. Another thing that's super important is getting travel insurance. And this is going to help if there's any crisis situation, if you had to go to the hospital, or if anything bad happens. Even some have theft protection. So it's really important to have this as insurance just in case. And I usually use Safety Wing, and I have their link down below. Another thing you're going to need to do is you notify your bank that you're going out of the country, and you can do this online or on the phone. And then also figure out what cards you're going to use down there. So I have a credit card that has no foreign transaction fees that I'll use mostly, and then I'll use my debit card to get some cash out, but I try not to get too much cash out. One of the first things you're going to do when you get to the destination is go to the ATM and get some cash out for your trip. Some apps that I like to download are Maps.me, and Maps.me allows you to have offline maps. So if you don't have data and you're just using Wi-Fi, you can still access maps from different countries, and you can download that country before you go so that you have it right on your phone. Another app I download is Google Translate, and so I will download the language of the country that I'm going to, and then I'll have it all day long, not just when I have Wi-Fi. Another thing I like to do before I go is I'll figure out how I'm going to get from the airport to my accommodation, and usually I will see if Uber is available, and I can do that from home and just search to see if it's available in that country. Or I can book a transfer before I even get there, and you can do that right on hostelworld.com, or sometimes through your accommodation they'll have a shuttle or an official taxi. You can also just get a taxi when you get there, but chances are the driver is going to try to overcharge you, and you might not be familiar with the currency yet, so that's one reason that I like to just do that ahead of time. And if I had more time to prepare for a trip, I would love to learn a little bit of language. Maybe I would read some books about it or watch a movie, sit there to get excited. I think those would all be great ways to get excited for your trip. That was a ton of information. Feel free to comment below with any questions and I will definitely answer them. And please subscribe for more travel videos like this one, both advice videos and also videos from around the world. And I will see you next Friday.